give the Links a hand because they took time out of their schedules to be here too, not just me. They cared enough about you to ask me to come, and so I want you to give them a big round of applause. I appreciate it. I think it's a huge deal because when I was sitting in your shoes, I didn't have anybody talking to me. I didn't have a teen mother talking to me. I didn't have a group of other women talking to me, supporting me, and telling me that I could be what I wanted to be. All I had was me. And so you have this school. I talked to Eric about it a lot. It's a blessing that you have this school, and obviously you didn't have to be here, so it's a great thing that you made the decision, or somebody made the decision for you to be at this school. But then you have people like the Links that are pouring into you, and then people like me and other mentors who are pouring into you. So I encourage you to soak up everything that everybody has to say and take Miss Carolyn's offer seriously. Charlotte, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Very, very seriously. If you see her on the street or see if any of these ladies or me anywhere, say, hey, I need some help. And I'm saying this to you, and I'll go back and tell you a little bit more about myself, but I'm saying this to you as a single mother of a teenager. My son is 16. He's probably older than some of you here. And I'm still raising my hand saying I need some help, and you're going to need that help. But so I'll go back and tell you a little bit about myself now. Erica mentioned I did graduate from the University of Memphis. Let me go back to where you are right now. What grade are most of you in?
12.
So most of you are seniors. That's good. Okay.
She said 11.
Well, good. I was in the 10th grade when I had my son. I was 15 years old, 10th grader at Jackson Central Mary High School in Jackson, Tennessee, when I found out I was pregnant. Some of you who have read the book or who are reading the book know the story about how I got pregnant, but and I won't even go into detail on that because the fact of the matter is I got pregnant. I became a mother, just like all of you here either are mothers or are about to be mothers. So when I was in 10th grade, I found out I was pregnant. I had all the emotional issues that I can assume that you all have. I was sad, I was depressed, I was embarrassed, and I wanted to give up on my life. And there were times when I did. While I was pregnant, there were times when I just retreated. I didn't talk to anybody, and I thought about abortion, just being real and honest with you guys, because I'm sure some of you have been there or know that or at least had that feeling. And I thank God today that my mother didn't allow that to happen. So when I was 15 years old, still in 10th grade, I gave birth to a little boy. This one. This one actually right here. I gave birth to my son, and I named him Jalen. I held him, and I cried. And I cried, and I cried, and I cried for probably the first year of his life. All I did was cry. But at the same time that I was crying, I was thinking about my future. I was a mother now. I couldn't do the things I had done before. What were the things that you did before you got pregnant? Probably played with your friends, hung out with your friends, talked on the phone, went to parties, did stuff like that. That's what I did. But after I had my baby, guess what I did? No, I did something. I did what you do. I made bottles, I changed diapers, right? I got up in the middle of the night for a crying baby. I did all those things. And then I did also go to school. I had to finish school, and that's why I'm proud of you ladies, because you're in 12th grade. That means you're almost done with high school. That's a huge accomplishment. That is a huge accomplishment. Most girls who are in your shoes don't finish high school. Most don't finish high school. Only one third actually finish high school. And so you're already in the minority. So be proud of yourselves because you're here and you're about to finish high school. We know you're all going to finish high school. So I was doing something. I finished high school. After I had my son, actually, I went back to school, still in 10th grade, and I had to work hard. I had to work hard to catch up with my classmates, and so I stayed after school with my teachers. I did extra work trying to get caught up. I had to work harder than all my friends because guess what? After school, they were going and playing and talking and doing whatever. I went home. I had to go home. And then guess what else I did? I got a job. I had to get a job because now I'm a mother. I couldn't just depend on somebody else to take care of me and my son. So I got one job, and I also got a second job. I did, and I'm very, very blessed because I had my grandmother who was able to help me with my son. I mean, if you have support, I would venture to say that everybody in this room has somebody who's willing to help you if you're showing them that I want to finish school, I want to make my life better. So I had my grandmother with me, and I went to school, I came home from school, I did homework, feed my baby, doing my homework all at the same time so that I could go to work, come home, finish my homework, feed my baby, change my baby, do whatever I had to do. We went to bed, and guess what? Woke up 2-3 times during the night, and then I got up the next morning and repeated the cycle. But I did it because I knew I had to finish high school. So all right, we got this said, you guys are gonna finish high school. That's a given. Are you thinking about what you're gonna do after high school?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I wanted to go to college too. I decided that I didn't want to be a statistic. Most girls, I just told you, who have a baby when they're a teenager drop out of high school. So that means even fewer of them actually go to college. I couldn't believe the statistic that I just read, but it said only 2% of all teenage mothers have a college degree by the time they're 30 years old. 2%. That blew my mind, but that's the reality. And why is that the case? Because it's hard. It's because it's extremely hard, and that's exactly why I wrote my book, because I wanted to show you it's hard. I talk about how hard it is in the book, but it's possible. It's possible, and it starts right here in your mind with saying, I want it. I do want to go to college, but you want to go to college for a reason, right? You want to go so you can get an education, and you want to go so you can get what else? A job, a career, so that you can have money to take care of yourself and your baby. And so that's what I did. That's how I ended up in Memphis. I worked really hard in high school with my son, and I graduated in the top of my class because I was working hard, and I got a scholarship to the University of Memphis. And I came to Memphis. I got the Emerging Leader Scholarship, and I talked to 𝗙𝗢𝗟 about it all the time, and it was because of my involvement in high school. So not only was I a mom in high school and I had 2 jobs, but I was on the yearbook staff, and I was in the Beta Club, and I did all those things because I wanted to better myself. And those were the things that got me a scholarship to the University of Memphis. And at the University of Memphis, I got the Emerging Leader Scholarship, which was a scholarship for involvement. So it was a scholarship that meant I had to be involved in organizations on campus too. That's a good thing, y'all. It was additional work for me because I was still a single mom, still a teen mom when I went to high school. But this meant I had to go to all these meetings and do all these activities too. But guess what? My son came with me. He came with me. He went to class with me sometimes if I had to. But because I was involved in these organizations, even the leaders of those organizations, the faculty and staff, said, Summer, let us help you. Let us help you. He can stay in the office with us. There were many days when he stayed in the office with the faculty and staff. But why was that? It was because they saw that I was working really, really hard, and they wanted to help me. And I can guarantee as long as you're working hard and you're showing other people that you're working hard and that you want something out of life, there will be a lot more people that are raising their hand saying, what can I do to help you? What can I do? You got a question now? Okay.
Like, what if you is trying to work hard and everything, but people still don't see the encouragement that you trying to do better?
Well, guess what? There will be, and tell my son this all the time, and I'm 31 years old and I have a child that is almost 16. There will be plenty of people who will let you down. Plenty of people. Some of the people that you think will have your back, some of the people that you think are gonna be there for you, they will let you down. But you have to find those people who will be there for you and work with them. It might not be anybody in your family, it might not be any of your friends who are willing to help you. It might be Miss Suggs, it might be the principal here, it might be the Links, it might be me. But you find who it is that is willing to help you and don't dwell on the people who aren't willing to. Because that's going to be the story of your life, people letting you down. You just can't let that make you get down. Okay.
Well, the other question is, can you say to help us better, like 12th graders who don't want to go to college and who just want to work and just, you know, live life, don't want to go to college or none of these?
Well,
What you should tell them?
First of all, I would say, I can agree that college isn't necessarily for everyone, but education is for everybody. So I would encourage you, if you don't think that you want a 4-year college degree, then first of all, I would encourage you to examine why it is that you don't want it. Do you think it's too hard? You know, do you think it's not for you? And if you make an educated decision on why you don't want a 4-year degree, then that's fine, but you need to get some type of education, because you need to think about your future. You should want to take care of yourself. You should want to take care of your child. So whatever it might be that you like to do, whether it's fix toilet, fix hair, whatever it is, you have to get some type of education to do it. So it might not be the traditional college, but I encourage everybody in this room to get an education beyond high school.
Thank you.
And that's living life. So you said living life. I'm living life, and I have 2 college degrees. I'm still living life. We all gonna live life regardless of what we do, you know. So yeah, I think that to answer your question, you still have to get an education if you want to actually live life. And I say this too, I'm speaking to you from my experience. I went to college. Let me finish telling you about me. I went to college. I came to the University of Memphis. My son was here with me. He went to class with me when he had to. Then the University of Memphis has a program for daycare, for child care, and it's discounted for students. So you'll find opportunities like that too, where people, again, are trying to help you. So I finished college. Did I find a job right away? Nope. I had this dream that I got a college degree and now my jobs are going to be handed to me. No, that didn't happen. I still had to work hard. And because I did work hard, though, I got a great job. I started working at the Memphis Grizzlies. Anybody familiar with them? Yes. I got a great job, and it wasn't just a job. That's where I started my career. Was I making a lot of money? Nope. I was not. That was my first job out of college, but I wasn't making a lot of money. But it was a great job. It was a great experience. My son was there with me. He's been in Grizzlies commercials. He's been in Grizzlies ads. All those were things that I never would imagine when I was 15, giving birth to him, that I would have a college degree, and then I would have a career with the Memphis Grizzlies. I never thought it was possible, but it is. It was possible for me, and whatever it is that you want to do is possible for you. While I was there, I got promoted. I got promoted 4 times, and by the time I left the Memphis Grizzlies, I was a marketing manager there. And it was all just a testament of me working hard and showing that that's what I wanted. What's the theme here? Working hard. Working hard. And it didn't start once I got there. It started when I was in the 10th grade and I realized I got a baby. I have to do something. And so to that point, are you working hard now?
Yeah.
And if you can say, say whatever you want, but you have to be honest with yourself. So you can tell me and your teacher or whatever, you're working hard, but you have to be really, really honest with yourself. Am I doing everything I can to say that 10 years from now, I'm going to have this job, making this kind of money, and taking care of my child? It starts today. So I stayed at the Grizzlies, and then I got a master's degree. I decided I wanted more. I said, I still want more. I want more out of life. By that time, my son was 8. He was 8 years old. And I said, I want to go back to school. I want a master's degree. And it was for 2 reasons. 1, I wanted to make more money. And 2, I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. Because when I was 15, people dismissed me. Probably like they're dismissing you. And saying, oh, she had a baby. Ain't nothing she can do now. And maybe you feel that way yourself. But I said I want to do something more, and I went back and got my master's degree.
How much the book?
How much the book? How
much is your book?
How much is the book? Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. But thanks for asking, because it means you're interested. Good. So I went back to school and I got my master's degree, and guess what that meant? I was working now a full-time job, and when I worked at the Grizzlies, it wasn't. I went to work at 8 o'clock and I got off at 5 o'clock. How many of y'all know they got basketball games? They have concerts, they have Aisha, all of that. Guess who was at all of them? Me. I was there, and guess who was at most of them? 2.
DJ.
My son was too. And that was because I had to raise my hand and ask for help. I said, friends, new friend, whoever I knew that I trusted with my child, can you pick him up from school? Because I had to have help doing all that. I know y'all got to have help with that. Can you pick him up from school and bring him down here to me? And they were there. I couldn't pay anybody. I still wasn't making much money, but I said, if you can bring them to me, I really appreciate it. You have to show your appreciation. I talk about that throughout the book. And people were there for me because I said, thank you so much. I can't just give you any money, but you can come to the game. I can't give you any money, but I'm a cook. You come over and eat. You have to do those things, you know, and people will help you to get where you're trying to go. So I got a master's degree. And that took time. That took 2 more years, and it was extremely hard because that was more 2-3 hours a night of sleep. Because he was 8, he wasn't crying in the middle of the night, but we were doing homework, we were doing projects, and we just had a whole lot going on, but I did it. And then I got another job. I applied. I kind of got tired of working at the Grizzlies, but the beauty of having an education is what? You have choices. These ladies over here can tell you once you get a college degree, you can do what you want to do. You have choices. You can make those decisions. And I made the decision to apply for another job, and I got a marketing manager job at Service Master, where I was making twice as much money as I made at the Grizzlies. And working half as much too. So that was the beauty of that. And I stayed there for a year, and FedEx offered me a job. And that's where I'm at today, and I've been there almost 4 years. With my son. Has it been easy? It hasn't been easy, and if you meet any teen mom or single mom or mom, period, who tells you that it's easy, then they're lying. So just accept the fact that it's going to be hard, but also know that that means you just have to work hard. Wow, one other thing that I'll tell you that people are like, how did you do? When I was at the University of Memphis, I was Miss University of Memphis. And I got that. It wasn't a beauty pageant or anything like that. It was just based on grades. It was based on your GPA and community involvement and campus involvement. And that just meant I was doing stuff. I was at school, and I was working hard, and I did well. I found ways to get involved and to make a difference. And I even pledged my sorority there because Erica's asked me about that. Is it still possible? AKA, and that's my soror in the bag. But it's possible. It's possible. The point is, you can still have whatever you want out of life. You can still do whatever it is that you want. But you have to make the decision today to do it, because every day that you hesitate to take a step towards it, you might as well be walking backwards. And I'm saying that because even my friends who didn't go to college today are working jobs that they don't want to be at. And guess what? They have no choice. They can't go anywhere else. They can't. And you know what? They can go back to school now. It'd be wonderful if they went back to school. Guess what? They're not going to catch up with me, because I made the decision when I was in the 10th grade, after I got over myself, that I got to take care of myself. I got to do something. So I kept moving forward. I kept going. And I'm telling you this too, because I really care a whole lot about you. I have family, very close family, that are young girls and make the other decisions. They're on welfare. They're on welfare. They're getting food stamps and waiting on a check every month. And they don't see anything wrong with it. But then when I come around and I'm driving my car, and I have a nice car, because I can, because I made choices and I sacrificed when I had to, and then they see my house, and they see the things that we have, and they get upset with me. But it's all about a choice. It's all about a choice. They can have the same thing that I have. They can do the same things that I'm doing. But they made the choice that going to college was too hard, that I can't do it. So when I wasn't getting my hair done, they were. When I wasn't getting my nails done, they were. But so now here we are, fast forward 10 years, and it didn't even take that long. I can if I want to. I can pay for you to get yours done too if I want to. And that's not bragging at all. That's just to say that you can be in that position. When I was in the 10th grade and I found out I was pregnant, my family didn't have money. I was on WIC. Are y'all familiar with WIC?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was because
That's right, girl. That's right. Get your wig. That's right.
I was on it, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I was on WIC, and I thank God for it because that helped me feed my baby. I couldn't afford formula. I couldn't do any of that stuff, and my family couldn't either. So I was on WIC. And that was at that point where I said, I can't, this is good. I'm thankful for it. But you see how minimal it is? I said, I need more than this. I need more than this. I need to be able to take care of my child myself. So today, if I decide I want to have a baby, I can buy the formula. I can buy the diapers. I can do the nursery. I can do all of that. But that was when I decided I don't want to be on welfare. I don't want to. But don't put yourself in a position where you have to be. That's what happens. A lot of people who are on welfare aren't like, oh, I want to be. There are some who are. I know that. But a lot of people who end up on welfare are there because they don't have any other choice. They made decisions earlier that left them with no choice. Just like people who don't get an education leave themselves with no choices. And so that's why today, if you want anything out of life, if you want a house one day, if you want to own your own car, those are the minimums. Those are the bare minimums. But you might want 2 or 3 cars. You might want to buy your mom a car. You might want to buy your mom a house. Those are not unrealistic thoughts and expectations. I'm going to do that. You can do it. And the first thing is you have to believe that you can do it because so many people in your shoes don't think that you can. So who thinks that they can now?
I've been knew I can't.
That's awesome. But you have to constantly remind yourself and look back to what I said. Every day when you walk out of here, somebody's going to tell you can't. Somebody's going to plant a seed in your mind that you can't do it. You might struggle picking up your child from daycare when you leave here and you go back to thinking I can't. When you go home, somebody at your house gonna make you feel like you can't.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm 31 years old, and even though I have done a lot, there are still people who try to make me feel like I can't, because I'm still trying to do more. Every time you do something, you need to try to do something else. And so I still have a lot that I'm trying to accomplish. A lot more than I'm going to get my doctorate degree one day. I'm going to buy another house, some rental properties. I'm going to buy another car. I'm going to start a business. I have a lot of stuff that I still have to do. But it's all about taking a step. So when I was 15 and I was pregnant, I wasn't thinking about buying rental property and my mom a house and 3 more cars and starting a business. I wasn't. I think about graduating from high school and going to college. So take the first step. Take the first step. And yeah, dream big. You can think past there. But you got to take one step at a time. Because if you dream too big, then it seems like you can't do it and it's easy for you to give up. So now that we all know you're going to graduate from high school and most of y'all going to go to college, but everybody is going to pursue some type of education, what questions do you have for me?
You know, I don't have no question, but I like you, and you did not mention baby dad not once up there, and I like it.
Thank you. Okay, and you know what? That's a very good point because a lot of us don't have the dad in the situation, and I didn't have the dad in the situation at all. And what so many women, and I'm speaking on women that I know who were even married to the baby daddy, end up bitter and mad, and who does it hurt? Not the daddy. It hurts them and it hurts their children. And you're exactly right. You just have to move on. Like I tell Erica, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, I tell her that all the time. If he's not going to be involved, if he's not going to help, I'm like, okay. And not just him. Anybody in your life, if you don't want to be involved, if you don't want to help me, fine. Thank you. This person does. I will work with them. I will focus on them. And the same is true for the dad. Question? teen mom is hard. Okay, I agree. I think being a single mom is hard, and I'm an adult. I agree. Now, who is doing the same things you did to get in this situation? You don't have to raise your hand. Don't have to raise your hand. At least you can be honest. Well, I talk to my son about this all the time, and I talk to Eric about this all the time too. If you know it's hard having one, if you're doing the same thing that got you there, why don't you think it'll happen again? And how hard can you imagine it'll be if you end up with two?
Stupid hard. I mean, silly hard.
So those people that y'all all raise your hand, we going to college, I'm gonna be successful. You end up with another one. Now it's that much harder. Your chances of going to college and being successful go down a whole lot more. Statistics say that all y'all gonna have another baby anyway. That's the truth. I was supposed to have another one too. I was supposed to have another one too while I was a teenager. But my life is about these statistics. So anything that somebody says I'm supposed to be that's negative, I'm gonna make sure I'm not. So with that being said, any of you that are doing the same thing, y'all need to listen. That got you in that situation, you need to stop. Really think about what you're doing. I know you're teenagers. I'm a mother of a teenage boy. But you got to be smart. You have to think about your future. We just talked about you want to have something out of life. You have to make decisions today that will position you to have it later. You had a question? No. So that's not to beat anybody up, but that's to make you think. It's not just about going to school, working hard, getting your grades. It's absolutely necessary. But you can hit you another roadblock that's gonna stop you, and you cause it yourself if you allow it to happen.
And then, like, sometimes you can have you can be motivated, but sometimes it just be like your environment you're around.
Negative people.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can have big dreams, but still, like, the environment you're around. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's your choice to get out of that situation anyway.
Yeah, but I'm saying, within the time being.
It's definitely hard. And you know what? And cause my book, I tell all my business in my book, I'm not a private person at all. But I'm dealing with that with my son right now and teach him how to live with his environment. You have to be in control of your environment. People, no matter where you go, it's going to be negative people around you. It's going to be negative things. You have to be mature enough to deal with it. And when you're not, you have to say, again, don't be afraid to raise your hand and say, I need some help. I need some help. And like I tell Erica all the time, if it's your friend and she's negative, like even if it's your friend here and she's talking negative and she's trying to bring you down, you talking about going to college, why you want to do that? She's not your friend. She's not your friend.
And I guess I just have to make the one comment because I see a lot of girls who want to do things for themselves, but